So once again, a very happy morning to every one of you, to this wonderful morning, to this wonderful opportunity that all of us have got thanks to Andhra Mahila Sabha College. And I must place and record my very deep sense of gratitude and appreciation to Professor Rajendra, who invited me here, your chairman, and also the principal, the director, the members of staff, and everybody. Okay, let's quickly move on to what I have in my mind and what I would like to share with you today. So the concept that I have chosen to discuss with you today is action planning. Every goal must be followed by a plan of action. Without that, a goal remains a dream. Goals remain dreams if they are not followed up appropriately. So what are the kind of goals that we can set for ourselves and what should we do after we set our goals is the focus of my presentation today. Hope all of you are ready. In case you have any questions during my presentation, sorry, you can type them in the chat box or the question box and somebody will read them out for me and maybe we can share our thoughts further. And as has already been announced, please switch off your microphones. You can have your video cameras on if you want, but microphones should be switched off so that there is no crosstalk, no disturbance, no distraction, etc. Now, let's go to the presentation. I will begin with a small activity. Wherever you are sitting, wherever you are, please do this simple exercise for me. I will give you 30 seconds time. And in that 30 seconds, what you need to do is you have to clap like this. And when you clap, you also need to count how many times you have clapped. You have to count in 30 seconds how many times you have clapped. Just keep a count in your mind and then continue doing it. Are you all ready? I think yes. So when I show the clock to you and when I start the clock, you will begin the exercise. Just a moment. Yeah, here's the clock and I'm starting it now for you. When I start, you also start. Good. That's good. That's good. So now you have clapped a certain number of times and you know the number. Right. Okay. Whatever you did, whatever be the number, I'm happy with that. Whether you clapped 10 times or 1,000 times, I don't care. But you did it and you have a number with you, and that's really good. Now, there is a second exercise that I'd like to do. Suppose I do this exercise again. I want you to clap again and I give you the same amount of time, 30 seconds. Now ask yourself, how many times more or less or the same number or whatever, how many times do you think? Somebody has switched on the microphone, please switch off. Yeah. Please switch off your microphone so that we can go ahead. I think the organizers must keep constant watch on the participants, and then in case any microphone is seen in red, you can switch them off.
So we'll take it.
Right. Okay. So I'm going to do this exercise a second time. What are we going to do? Again, I'm going to give you 30-second time, and you have to clap again. But this time, before you begin clapping, you have to have a goal, a certain number. So ask yourself, now that you have an approximate idea of how many times you can clap in 30 seconds, if I give you an opportunity, once again, how many times do you think you can clap? So first, start with an answer. Right? First, maybe if you have a piece of paper and pen with you, write down how many times can you clap in 30 seconds. Or if you don't have a scribbling pad with you, maybe you can just decide on a figure in your mind. How many times can you do that? A second time. Okay, if you have decided the figure, I'm going to start again. And let's see if you can reach that goal that you've set for yourself or not. Let's start. I'm starting now. Okay, please stop. Right? Now, I would like some of you, maybe one or two of you, can tell me either in the chat box or maybe you can unmute yourself and speak to me. Have you been able to reach the target that you've set for yourself? Or have you fallen short of that? Or have you exceeded the target that you set for yourself? Would anybody like to speak? I think if you raise your hand, somebody will unmute you.
This is Rakesh here. I have unmuted myself.
Yeah, please.
I have set a target of
75 plus.
Only one of you after that. Another. Rakesh?
Yeah, this is Rakesh here. I have set a target of 65 and I achieved 66.
65 was the target and 66 was the actual realization. One more student, please.
And I have closed my eyes. I was noticing at the clock.
Sir, this is Sushila here.
Sushila, yes, please.
Sir, initially I got 75 times clapped. I could do it, and my target was 100, but I could reach only 95.
95 is wonderful. A target of 100, that itself is 25% more than what you really achieved the first time. 75 to 100 and 95 is a wonderful realization. A third student, the last one. Any one more?
Sir, first time I have clapped 75 times. In second round, I have the target of 75 plus and I reached 80 plus.
80 plus. What is that 80 plus? Do you have the actual number with you or 80 plus?
83.
What does that mean? 83. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Enough. Thank you very much. I'm sorry for disappointing the others. I know everybody wants to speak. Everybody wants to share your experiences, but this is the time we have. And let's see what exactly happened and what's the difference between the first time and the second time. The first time, we did not have any target. I just said, okay, clap for 30 seconds. And many of you perhaps did not even know why was I asking you to do this exercise. You just clapped because I asked you. And maybe you did it very leisurely, or maybe you did it very passionately, maybe you did it very fast, very slow, whatever. You just did it without any particular target in your mind. But the second time, you set a target for yourself. I did not give you the number. So I gave you the first experience to just make a rough idea of what's your potential, what's your capacity. And the second time when I asked you to set a goal for yourself, and I asked you to try to reach that goal. And if you don't reach that goal, there's nothing wrong. Somebody might have set a very high target, might not have reached it. Somebody might have set a moderate target and might have surpassed that. Somebody might have set a very humble target and far exceeded. I don't know, all kinds of things might have happened. But you might have experienced one very important thing, that when you work with a target, right, a prefixed, a predetermined target, and if you have that in mind, so it perhaps was possible for you to achieve more than what you do when you work without a target. I think 100% of you set a target greater than the first time. I'm 100% sure that I don't think there'll be anybody who set a target shorter than the first time. If anybody did that, maybe we should talk to him and then we should find out why he did that. Okay, so the target perhaps was based on our past achievement, our past realization of our potential, and we had a slightly higher or a greatly higher target, and we tried to achieve the target that we set for ourselves. That is the advantage of working with a target in life. Instead of just going wherever we want without knowing where we want to go, if we set a target for ourselves, it becomes easier for us to walk in that direction, go in that direction, and most likely reach the destination that we've set for ourselves. So I think this simple exercise might have set you thinking, right? How important goals are in our lives and how much more can we achieve if we set targets, and without targets, how lifeless our pursuits are. Right. Let's move on. Maybe now we will do one more exercise, but you did not tell me, you did not speak to me, or maybe if 2 or 3 of you again speak to me, it's also fine. So in case, instead of setting targets of clapping or the number of times you clap, maybe suppose I ask you to set a slightly higher target. If I ask you this very simple question, what is your goal for attending this today's my section? So you are spending almost 1.5 to 2 hours here. So there must be a purpose. Otherwise, you should not have just come here. Just because your principal asked you, or just because you got a link, or just because you are free. I don't think many people have come like that, or maybe there is anybody who has come like that. Okay. Now, if you have come here for a certain purpose, if you want to learn something, experience something, gain something, benefit out of it. So what is that? Maybe again, some 2 or 3 of you, not the ones who have already spoken, maybe 2 or 3 of you can unmute yourself and speak to me. What is your goal for this session, today's session? Yeah, you can begin now. Is anyone ready?
Sir, good morning. This is Vijay Patil.
Vijay,
Yes,
please
sir.
go ahead. Vijay will go ahead first.
Okay. Sir, I am here to learn. Like I have plenty of plans to do something which new in the market. Every time I got failed.
All others will remain silent when Vijay is speaking. Yes, Vijay.
Yeah. So I always wanted to go with some new thoughts into the market, but unfortunately, sometimes I got failed. So again, I researched for that. Why did I fail?
Okay.
So today I'm thinking like I'll be more focused on an action plan. How can I be into a success way?
Perfect. Thank you, Vijay. Thank you for sharing that. So you would
Thank you
like
so
to
much, sir.
learn something out of this lesson, perhaps about action planning, so that you can work with greater focus tomorrow, so that you will not fail. Yeah, one more, please.
Yes.
Hello, sir. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, what's your name, please?
I am Devaki Reddy from Andhra Mahila Sabha College of
Devaki
Law.
Reddy will speak now. All others will remain silent. Yeah, please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Good morning, sir. I am actually from New Zealand, and I joined in Law College last year doing my second sem. And actually, my faculty was biomedical. I'm a biomedical professor in New Zealand, but I just want to learn more about Indian advocacy and help Indians in New Zealand. So I joined in Law College, and I just wanted to be excel in the advocacy.
Okay. Thank you very much, Devaki Garu. So this is, I think you have a very big, ambitious plan. Perhaps this is a very small program in the direction of helping you achieve your programs. But maybe advocacy is one very big concept, a big thought. And then I'm very happy that you are here. And the students also must feel very happy that somebody from New Zealand who is here luckily today is participating in this program along with you. Thank you, Devakiji. A third one, please, the last one. One more last opportunity, preferably for a student, a young student.
Good morning, sir.
What's your name, please?
Bhattu Swapna, sir. I am a student of Sardar Patel College.
Bhattu Swapna from Sardar Patel College will speak, and all others will please mute yourselves.
Sir, I have
Yes,
attended
please.
7 to 8 webinars till now.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I experience different things. unknowingly, I got so much interest to attend all these webinars. And always I share these experiences with my tuition students, and I teach them new things from the PPTs and from the presentations and the lectures I gave here. So it's always been
What
a
is
new
your goal
experience for me.
today? What's your goal
Sorry,
today?
sir.
What's
To
your goal
learn
today?
more new things, sir.
Okay. So Sapna has come here to learn new things. Wonderful. Thank you very much. I know again there are lots of others who want to speak, but I cannot give you, an opportunity because we are short of time. And I know that many of you have many different kinds of thoughts in your mind. And I also know that there are various diverse kinds of things that you have come here for. Okay, let's move on from here. Maybe this question, even if I don't get the answer from you, even if I don't hear the answer from you, helps you understand that it's always a good idea to begin with a goal, even when you want to attend a program like this. Maybe from today onwards, what you should do, tomorrow you have a class, you must go with a plan. You must go with a goal. You must go with a certain thought, a structure. So what is it that I want to achieve today in my class? Why am I going to college tomorrow? What are a few things that I am likely to learn? I want to learn. And at the end of the day, maybe you can reassess if your goals have been realized, if what you wanted to learn, you have learned, what you wanted to gain, you have gained. So it becomes a part of your life. Goal setting and achieving them, assessing them becomes a plan and becomes a part of your life. So begin like that. So wherever you go, whatever you do, however small that thing is, so have a very clear thought in your mind, a very clear concept in your mind. What is it that you want to achieve out of that? Like this simple exercise that you have done. Okay, very quickly, maybe again, I'll give the opportunity to just 2 or 3 people. Maybe whoever comes first will have a stand. Those who have already spoken, please don't speak. Other students, I want only students. Why should we have goals in life? Some 2 or 3 of you, please raise your hand, unmute yourself and speak.
Sir, please repeat the
We can't hear you, please. Hello?
Sir, please
Hello.
repeat the question.
The question is why, you can see it on the screen, why do we need to have goals in life? What's your name?
Sir, this is Uzma Tajwa. Sir, goals give the meaning to your meaningless life, sir. If you don't have goals, then what's the meaning of your life?
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Thank you. The next one, please.
Good morning, sir. This is Richa.
Mhm.
Goal is
Yes,
something
Richa.
that gives you motivation. Like
Wonderful.
you'll have a motivation to do things further. We'll have that plan. So without plan, we can't go further, right? So goal is something that is very important for us.
Very perfectly said.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
Richa. Thank you. The last one. One more, please. One last student. Is there anyone else who would like to share?
Hello, sir.
Yes. Is it Amali speaking?
Yeah, sir, Alia speaking this, sir.
Yeah, please. Alia,
Sir,
please.
I want to tell that goals are very important because goals give us a path to reach the destination,
Mhm. Yeah.
what we actually
Okay.
want to become.
Thank you, Alia. So goals set your path. Goals help you take the right path to reach where you want to go. That's a beautiful way of putting it. All 3 of you, hearty congratulations. You have made my job easy, and I have my own definition. This definition is the same thing that you told everybody. All 3 of you said, and perhaps all the 143 of you who are attending this program perhaps will say, because it's only the difference of words, but the concept is the same. So it becomes easier for us to do whatever we want to do in case we have a very clear, specifically defined goal in our minds, hearts, wherever. Okay, so what is it? It is something that helps us do what we want to do. Sometimes otherwise we don't know where we are going unless we set our minds to think and decide where we want to go. A simple example, suppose somebody goes to the Secunderabad railway station and he asks for a ticket. And the booking clerk says, okay, where do you want to go? Okay, you've given some money and you are asking for a ticket. And the ticket, the booking clerk says, where do you want to go so that I can issue a ticket? And you say, sir, I don't know where I want to go. Give me a ticket. How does that look? Idiotic, foolish, silly, right? Meaningless. How can he issue a ticket in case he does not know, if he's not told where you want to go? You have to decide that. But I mean, that example that I gave you may sound silly and foolish, but I worked as a lecturer in a college for 36 years and I was principal of a college. I retired from government service some 9 years ago. So during my career, while I was a lecturer, I used to ask lots of students, what do you want to become in life? What's your goal? What's your career goal? Some simple questions like that. I worked in rural areas, right? And students typically, their standard answer is, sir, I want a job. Sir, I want to work. Sir, I want something good in life. I want to settle in life. Absolutely vague. Or whatever job I get is okay, sir. Some job. I'm not very sure, sir, where I want to go. I don't know what job I want. What do I want to become? I'm not clear in my mind yet. So these were the kinds of answers that my students gave in 70–80% of the cases. When I look back at those answers, they sound exactly like the example that I gave you. You want to go somewhere without knowing where you want to go. Is that possible? Somebody has to issue a ticket only after knowing where you want to go. Unless you say that, the ticket cannot be issued. Somebody will help you tomorrow to become what you want to become only if you tell them, or if you at least know in your mind what you want from your life, what you want from your career, what you want from yourself. Unless that's clear, the world cannot do anything to help us. So we cannot have what we want to have if we do not know what we want to have. I think that's clear to you. Okay. So what is it that we need to do? We need to identify and also quantify and timify what we want in life. So I must know clearly what I want. When do I want it? How much do I want? Right? What kind do I want? If I know that very clearly, which is realistic, which is very specific, very clearly defined, appropriately quantified in terms of numbers, and if I also have a time set for that, then it becomes very easy for me to achieve what I want to achieve. My goal becomes clear and my target becomes easier to reach, and my journey, somebody said, the path on which you need to journey. So that path becomes, the path appears itself before you. You don't need to discover that. It automatically appears before you because you know where you want to go. I want to go there, and the way automatically opens up. Okay, so that's it. Let's move on. Now, I have a very simple question. This is a goal of somebody. I asked a student, and the student said, I asked the student, what's your goal? The student said, I want to marry. Is it a good goal or not? Please type your answer in the chat box. If you think that it's a good goal, say yes. If you think it's not a good goal, say no. Just type one word, yes or no. Maybe somebody can help me find out how many people have said yes, how many people have said no. Is there somebody who is seeing the chat box? I also can see it, but it's a little distracting. I think many of you are saying no.
No, sir. Many of them are saying no, sir.
Yes. Sirisha says, depending on the person. I don't know what that is. Anjali says neutral. Okay. And many of you are saying no. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Maybe perhaps we'll discuss this later. So suppose somebody says, I want to marry. I don't know. Why is it a bad goal? It's a good goal. No? Everybody must marry. So if you are marriageable, if you are young today, you need to marry. And at some point or the other, I think you must have a family life too. If you're a boy or a girl or whatever, and especially if you're a student now, sometime later you need to marry and then set up your family. What's bad about that? Why is it not a good goal? So from that point, right, to settle in life, to marry and to set up a family is a good goal. But as a goal statement, we are talking about goal statements today. How do you state your goals? How do you realize your goals? How you realistically, I think you remember the previous slide, realistically, quantified, timeified, very specifically defined. So in case you do not do that, this goal is a bad goal statement. The goal may be good, but the goal statement is terribly bad. If you want to make it good, a good statement, what should you say? For instance, you can say, I want to marry a young girl of 22 years, Telugu speaking, already employed, a postgraduate, sometime during the next summer. Suppose you clarify it like that. So you give details about that. Then it becomes a good goal statement. If suppose somebody asks you, what do you want to become? If you say, sir, I want to become, I want to get a government job. It's a terribly bad statement of your goal because you're still not clear in your mind. A government job means the district collector is a government job and an attender that works in the government also is a government job. Both are equally good perhaps depending on what you are expecting and looking for. But what do you want? I want to become a leader. Unclear. What kind of a leader? Maybe within your family, there are 4 people in your family and you are a leader of your family, that kind of a leader. You want to become a social leader, political leader. What kind of a leader do you want to become? Some people even very strange things. They say, sir, I want to start working from tomorrow. I want to start working from tomorrow is a great, noble ambition, but it's a bad statement because, okay, tomorrow you will start, but how long will you work? Where will you work? What time will you work? Tomorrow, will you wake up 5 minutes earlier for doing that? Or you wake up at your normal time and change your routine and walk? Will you walk for a kilometer or 2 kilometers or half a kilometer? Or you just get out of your bed and take 3 steps and come back and sleep again and you say, okay, I fulfilled my goal because I took 3 steps, which I did not do yesterday. What is it in your mind must be very clearly stated if you want to achieve goal. I want to pass this examination. Useless goal statement. Pass this examination is not a great goal at all. Pass this examination. What kind of pass that is? What kind of scores you would like to get? What kind of a rank do you like to achieve? What do you like to be the outcome of this? So if you give more and more and more and more data specifically to yourself, you need not tell this to anybody, to yourself. Tell yourself, I want this. I want to build a house which will be like this. There'll be 2 bedrooms, there'll be a hall like this, there'll be a kitchen here, there'll be this, it'll be in this locality, it'll be in the first floor, it'll be this. Suppose you begin giving it a shape, it becomes a good goal. I want to build a house, useless goal. Right? So your goals must be very, very clearly defined and clarified. So there is a formula. I think most of you management students already know this. I don't need to take time to describe each one of these things. Perhaps you've been told by many people in the past already. Good goals are SMART goals. SMART stands for S for specific, M for measurable, A for actionable, R for realistic, and T for time bound. There are a few other interpretations also. Don't worry too much. Right? So a good goal must be specific, like I told you already. If you want to marry, what kind of a girl do you want to marry? What kind of a boy do you want in your life? Specify. It must be measurable. There must be a way to know whether you're really married or not, whether the engagement is over, whether the choice of the girl is over. So how much of that has progressed? How much that has happened? So there must be a way to measure that, right? Actionable. Actionable is, it's something that can be done by not only you, but anybody. If there is something, for instance, if you say, I want to marry an angel, you cannot marry an angel. You can marry an angel like woman. A woman who is as good as an angel, perhaps is possible, but you cannot marry a divine angel. Right? So that is not actionable. That cannot be put into practice unless you become a citizen of some country. You cannot have the kind of rights the citizens of that country have, even if that is your goal. If you say, I want to become the president of America, it's not possible because you are not a citizen of America right now. Maybe that's possible after you become a citizen of America. But now it's not actionable. Then it must be realistic. So if you say, I want to marry Mahesh Babu, it's not realistic because Mahesh Babu is already married. Okay, even if you are not married already, he would not, I don't think he would marry you. Why should he marry you? There must be a reason for that. There must be enough, attraction in that, a reason for that. Okay, so it should be realistic. So if you want to become the Prime Minister of India, it's a good goal, but you have to ask yourself whether it's a realistic goal or not. Right, and it must be time-bound. There must be a mention of time. When do you want it to be achieved, and what time scale you have? So, what are the time milestones that you've set for yourself, etc., etc. So these are SMART goals, and every one of the goals that you set for yourself must have these 5 qualities. And there is a 6th quality. The 6th quality is, it must be underlined, it must be written down. So goals just in your mind are very easy to be lost, and if you write them down, preferably very conspicuously placed in front of you on your desktop, on your wall or somewhere, and then constantly reminding yourself of what you want to achieve from your life, perhaps they work much better. So written SMART goals are good. So please think again, whatever goals you have set for yourself. If you have not set your goals already, please do them, and then convert them into SMART goals, and then write them down and place them in some conspicuous place where you can see your goals every day and start working. Okay, I have finished this goal setting thing very, very fast. Before I move on, I just would like to tell you that I have not spent much, maybe goal setting itself is a big topic, a very, very big topic, but my focus is on the next part. Okay, some people say, okay, sir, you told us to set goals and we have set goals. I have 5 very good goals or 1 very great goal, a noble goal, and now I'm not able to achieve that. You said, I set a goal, and then you advised us to do that, I did that, then what happens? Nothing will happen. The goal will remain a written statement on your wall, and it will lie there, and you lie wherever you are, and no progress will ever happen unless something else happens. Goal setting perhaps is the bottommost step on the staircase, right? The bottommost. So even before you've taken the first step, there is a base, no? So you are there, that's all. Goals are not enough to take you anywhere. Goals just give you a direction. Somebody said goals show you the path, right? Goals help you start your journey. Goals set the direction in which you need to travel. That's all. Then what happens? So before I come to that point, I will just spend 1 or 2 minutes on what are the various kinds of goals that you can set for yourself. Goals may relate to your own personal development, like equipping yourself, the soft skills, life skills, etc., employability skills today, etc. your family goals, the goals for your family, education goals, what kind of courses you would like to study, what kind of qualifications you would like to acquire, and etc. Career goals, what kind of job do you want in that? Career is not a job, career is much more than that. So once you get a job, how do you want your career path to be, right? In what direction you are moving after you get a job? Productivity, what do you like to contribute to the world? Efficiency, how efficiently do you like to work? And what kind of perfection, precision, accuracy, success you want to achieve? Financial goals, what kind of money do you like to achieve? How do you want to organize your money? How do you like to conserve your money? How do you like to judiciously spend your money, etc., etc.? So that is financial goals. And of course, there are some spiritual goals. Perhaps maybe you can have a very detailed discussion on each one of them during some other presentation like this. Maybe your college will organize one more webinar. Maybe you can discuss them. My topic is coming to the next point. Right. I want to achieve the goals that I've set. Stage 1 is over. As I told you, I am at the base level. From here, I need to move further. What should I do? How do I achieve success? Point number 1 that you need to do is look at yourself. When you look at yourself in a mirror, you can think whatever you want to be is you. I am what I think I am. There is a distinction between I am what I am what I think I am. In that picture, you see a cat looking at a mirror, but the cat does not think it's a cat, it thinks it's a lion. Now, after this presentation is over, go into your room and then stand in front of a mirror, look at yourself. And when you look into the mirror, if you are seeing yourself there again, perhaps you have not understood what I mean. It's not your picture that you see there in the mirror. It's the picture of what you want to be. Suppose you want to become the principal of a college, for instance, right? Career-wise, if you want to become the principal of college, when you look into the mirror, you already are seated in that principal chair, and then you are giving orders to people, and then there are people working with you, and you are instructing teachers to take their classes, your students to go to their classes, and then you visualize that in the mirror. If you can visualize that, you are very close to the path that you have chosen to take, and you are in that direction. But if you still see yourself, you see your hair, your nose, your eyes, and your mouth, and only this, right? Perhaps you have not started working on your goals. The goal is set, but you have not started working on that. So what you think of you is going to decide what you can be. What you want to be begins by telling yourself constantly. You have to tell yourself, yes, I will be there. Yes, I can be there. Yes, my journey is beginning. Yes, I am moving in that direction. Yes, very soon I will be in that position. If you can tell yourself that, it becomes possible. Then look at this another picture here. There is a small bud. If I ask you where is the flower, right? Where is the flower? The flower is not there. It's only a bud now. Today it's a bud, but the flower is hidden within that flower, within that bud. So the flower is there. You can't see that now, but the bud has the potential to blossom into a full-blown flower, a beautiful, lovely flower. Maybe today you are a bud. Don't worry. The flower is there within. Don't try to forcibly open this. It slowly, gradually, naturally, on its own open up. All that you need is a little encouragement, right? Motivation, the right manure to the plant. Okay, so don't worry. Somebody was telling me in the beginning when I asked you to give your opinion, somebody said, sir, I've done this, not very successful. I failed. That's, of course, a good admission. But what I'm trying to tell you is that I think this process of success is not a sudden one. There may be maybe 0.1% of people in the world who succeed by luck, because of luck. So they buy, someone useless fellow buys a 1 rupee lottery ticket, and I think the jackpot hits and then he becomes a millionaire the next night. Do you want to wait for that kind of opportunities? Go on buying a lottery ticket every day and wait for your luck? I think there cannot be anything more idiotic than that. So please wait. In case there are failures, overcome them and then constantly, gradually, naturally progress in the direction of success. And the story of the chrysalis, the pupa from butterfly, will tell you, I think you might have heard this story already, how difficult it is when you are a pupa. How you have to tear yourself out and then come out of the walls around you to become a beautiful, colorful butterfly. Maybe you are a pupa now, don't worry, but there is a butterfly in you, let that come out. So I'm sorry, I'm rushing, I'm going a little fast, but perhaps I would like to come to the actual point very soon. So success is not working like somebody else, not achieving what somebody else has achieved. Okay, there are people in this world, Usain Bolt might have run that 9.3 seconds or whatever 100 meters dash that he might have achieved. Michael Phelps might have achieved 22 gold medals. There's no point in all these inspirational speakers, motivational speakers, they come and tell us all those stories. They don't inspire us. Actually, they disappoint us. They frustrate us. Oh, that fellow has done so much, I have not done anything. I also want to earn 22 gold medals. I have not earned even the local college gold medal. So don't worry about them. Don't worry about what others have achieved. Ask yourself what you can achieve. Ask yourself if you are on the right path to what you have decided to achieve. What is your potential? I clapped 50 times and my potential is 75 times. I realized my potential only when I set a target for myself. Till then, I did not know. I thought 50 was my strength. 50 was my potential, I thought. Because the first time, I just did this. When I asked myself, can I do more? Maybe tomorrow, if you want to do 200, can you do it or not? You can certainly do if you practice, if you work in that direction. Try it for 1 month. I'm giving you an assurance today. You can call me, I'll give you my email address and tell me after 1 month if you have achieved at least 2 times more than what you have achieved today under these conditions. At least 2 times more. You can do that. Certainly. Who decides that? You decide that. If you decide, it's possible. So what is your potential? You ask yourself, what is my potential? What's it that I can achieve? And start in that direction. You must be 1 step higher than what you are today. Enough. Right? If you are on step 1 today, tomorrow, if you are on step 2, you have made enough progress. Somebody else is on the 100th step. We have no competition with him. He is not my competitor. I am my competitor. I think this point must very deeply get inscribed in your mind. It must be chiseled. It must be written into your mind. So I want to be my version 2.0. Nagaraju today should become Nagaraju 2.0 tomorrow. Otherwise, I have not been progressing. I am where I am. Okay, now let's move on. Suppose I have decided to tell myself that I am capable of achieving something success like this cat has done. I want to progress naturally like this flower. I am ready to overcome those difficulties that I have, that like this pupa has become a butterfly. And I also want to start realizing my potential and live up to my potential. What is the next course that I need to take? How will I achieve my goals? What kind of activities do I need to go through? And what actions do I need to perform to achieve my goals? So this is the next question that we need to ask ourselves. So that's where action planning comes into picture. Say goal statement must be converted, must be transitioned into an action plan. How does that happen? Right? It happens if I very clearly define to myself what is the goal, how do I achieve that, when is the deadline for me to achieve that, who are the people that can support me, who are the people around me who can help me achieve what I want, and how will I know that I have achieved something? How will I know? So maybe I've been journeying continuously. There must be some kind of assessment, a kind of a self-assessment to know whether I've reached my goal or not. For instance, if you just said, I want to clear this examination, you want to pass this examination, it's very difficult to know whether I think you have really made any progress or not. But suppose you say, oh, this year, I've got 57.5% marks. Next year, I'd like to achieve at least 65% marks. So you will know whether you have achieved that goal or not very clearly. Okay, let's move again. So this is a very simple structure I am giving you. Perhaps you can work on this structure or you can design your own. I mean, this is only a very base kind of an action plan, which I've designed for you. But maybe I think you can start from here and you can create your own action plan. Your action plan must have these columns and more if you want. What are they? So first column, what is my goal? For instance, in this case, I want to earn a PG degree, a post-graduation, a doctorate, right? I want to become a postgraduate in a certain department. I want to earn a PhD or whatever. So suppose that is your goal. Then also decide who are the people that can help you. Who are the people whose support do you need? Who are the people that can help you move in the direction in your path, right? For instance, if you want to earn a PhD or a graduate degree or a postgraduate degree, who are the people that can help you? You need the support of your teachers, maybe your colleagues in your college or wherever, and maybe your family, right? Whoever. So identify the people. What kind of support do you need from them? Right? Are you getting that support? If you are not getting that support from them, how can you get that? What are you taking from your teachers? As far as I know, I've been a teacher, I told you already, 95% of the students in colleges never approach a teacher outside the class. They see the teacher only in the class and never else. But I think at least 50, 60, 70, 80, 100% of the teachers will be more than willing to help you if you approach them beyond the class also, outside the class also. Suppose you go and discuss something with your teacher, the teacher feels extremely happy, delighted. There is one student here who has very clear ideas, who wants to discuss something with me further, and I would like to help him. That would be the result. But if you just keep it to yourself, you just sit in the class and go away, the teacher never knows you, you never know the teacher, you never have an opportunity to discuss anything with that teacher, and the teacher's precious help that is available is not taken. Right? There is a river running in front of you, but you don't know how to take water from that. I think an opportunity is lost. There is a library, a beautiful library. Almost every college that's accredited by NAAC and is supported by UGC typically has a lovely library with thousands of unopened, unused, unissued books. Again, I worked in a college, that's why I know there are, if we put it in percentages, perhaps it's very difficult, but maybe at least about 50% of the books are not issued even one single time by libraries. Not even one single time. Books are there stacked in almirahs. They are purchased and are kept there. Only during inspections they are shown. They are not issued even one single time. How strange that is. How sad that is. So having opportunities is one thing and utilizing those opportunities is another thing. Am I utilizing every single opportunity available to me, relevant to me, and that will help me achieve my goals? So it's teachers, it's physical resources, most importantly, it's human resources. So please, you must know that. Who is the person that can take me there? Maybe there are things that you can do on your own. You don't need anybody's support at all. That's a different category. I am talking about things that you can do better with greater perfection, with greater efficiency and faster if you have the support of people. If you want to do so, for instance, if you want to wake up in the morning and then walk on your own, you don't need anybody's support. Maybe. Or maybe you need your family support. Somebody can wake you up. Somebody can give you the right food at the right time. Somebody can, remind you. In case you need their support, tell them. So if you have somebody at home, and then you can tell them, tomorrow onwards, I'd like to start walking in the morning. Somebody will automatically wake you up, your mother, father, brother, sister, whoever. So decide whether you need somebody's support, keep them informed, take their advice, take their support, and start walking in that direction. That is action plan, beginning of action plan. Okay, what other resources do you need? Maybe to acquire a PG degree, you need some books, you need some time, and you need perhaps some money. What money? Suppose you want to go to America for your further studies. Suppose that's a goal. So you must know what kind of money do you need for that, right? What kind of processes that you need to go through? What kind of documents do you need? What kind of official support you need? What kind of certificates do you need to acquire before you do that, etc., etc. So in case you want to earn a degree, perhaps you need books. So either you must buy those books or borrow those books or take the help of somebody else. Maybe if those books are available online, perhaps you can read them on. Most books are available online these days. That's one reason why perhaps libraries are not used. But coming back to this, so books, money, time, etc., etc., other resources. What are the resources needed? You have to identify. So after your goal statement is done, your work has begun. It has not ended. So my goal is to earn a PG degree, and the action plan is identifying the people and approaching the people, explaining to them what I want, taking their advice, taking their guidance, and then with their support, moving in the right direction. Then identifying the physical resources that I need and having an action plan to acquire them. I do not have much time left now. I'm doing 2 other things, but maybe I have to plan my time accordingly. I do not have enough money. I want to go to America, but I don't have enough money. But maybe there is a bank that can help me. There is an uncle that can help me. Maybe if I approach my father properly, perhaps he can borrow from somewhere and then he can help me. Or maybe I start earning some money while I'm a student here, and then I'll accumulate this money in the next 3 months so that I can go to America with my own money. Wonderful if you can do that. I told you I worked in rural areas. At least 5 to 10% of my students were hard-working young people already engaged in some profession. There were people who distributed the newspaper in the mornings. I remember very clearly there was one student who was a daytime barber. When I worked at Gajwel, one student came to me and told me, sir, part-time, maybe half the day, he is a practicing barber and the rest of the day he comes to college. So they are into different professions. They are earning their own money. Hats off to such students. And luckily, I think maybe some of you, at least studying in big colleges, paying huge amounts of money, perhaps your parents are well-to-do and they can afford to send you to good colleges. They can afford to give you lots of things. So you're already blessed. You should not have many complaints, right? So identify the resources that you need and start acquiring them or identifying how you can acquire them, equipping yourself, right? Walk in that direction. And you must have a very clear statement about your time plan, an action plan that tells you the time milestones. When is the deadline? When do I want to do this? So I want to earn a PG degree by 2021. That's only maybe 8 months, 9 months away. Can I get a postgraduate degree in 9 months? Is that possible? Is there a university that gives me a degree within 1 year? Can I write all the papers in one go and earn a degree? Or is it not possible? If it's not possible, or what are the other sources available to me? Or maybe shall I change this date to March 2022? So these are the alternatives before you. So if you realize that, oh, before March 2021, it's impossible. That was an unrealistic goal, unattainable goal. I set a wrong goal. Maybe I can change that. I revise that now. Oh, I made a mistake, and that's why I changed the milestones. So because a postgraduate degree cannot be acquired in 9 months, there is no university that offers a degree like that. I am doing this. Or maybe you'll identify, oh, there is one online university that gives me a postgraduate degree without any time restrictions. Once I get some 20 credits, or once I get some 40 credits, once I finish these papers at my own speed, I can finish it in 3 months also. I can get a degree. Suppose I can identify that. Perhaps I'll take that. There are alternatives, substitutes. There are various ways of achieving what you want to achieve. So identify that. Then you also need to identify the results. How will you know that you have succeeded? In this case, if you have decided to achieve a postgraduate degree, the day on which the degree is on your hand, only then you have achieved your goal. But you can also measure that, how much of it. Suppose there are 4 semesters built into it. When you have done your first semester and passed the exam, and you have done the second semester, so you know you can rate yourself where you are, how far have you progressed, and where you are at this stage, and how much more. See, that's why milestones are there. You know, when you journey, when you go by road, you see milestones here and there. That's a purpose. They help you reassess your progress, and also maybe make changes to your course, your speed, etc., depending on identifying where you are. So this is a basic concept of action plan. Very basic. I'm not giving you too many details, but just giving you a simple structure. So please prepare a table like this, right? Write down your goal. Write down the list of the resources, human as well as physical, that you need to achieve your goal. Write down your timeline. It can be broken. March 2021 is a very rough figure there, but maybe you can further break that. First semester by here, second semester by here, third semester by here. So you can further break down into installments, small steps, and etc. And also a way to assess where you are now. Okay. Maybe some 2 or 3 other things I'll tell you. I think I have another 15 minutes to go. Perhaps maybe a few. There are many students, again, this is my personal experience, when I ask them, what do you want to have in case you want to achieve success? This is a question that I often ask my students, even my colleagues also. Suppose I give you whatever you want, right? There is somebody who can give us whatever we want. The only condition is you must achieve success. Okay, in the next 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, whenever, you must achieve this. I'll give you whatever you want. So if I ask you to write a list of such things that you want, people usually give this list. People say, if I had money, I would have done this. Nobody gave me money, and that's why I've not succeeded. My dad is poor. He could not buy me a motorcycle. He did not give me a car. He did not give me a bicycle or whatever, and that's why I have not succeeded. My dad did not give me a new dress, and that's why I have not succeeded. Or my dad did not buy me a new dress, that's why I'll commit suicide. These kind of things, right? So parents support, institutional support, teachers support, social status, fitness, health, relationships, recognition. These are the lots of kinds of things that students, people in general, not only students, people in general think will help them succeed. But I have a very important question. If the question that I am going to ask you sinks into your mind today, perhaps whatever I wanted to achieve today has been achieved. Can you think of individuals who have succeeded without money in their pockets? Without knowing what parents are, maybe before they were born, perhaps the father died before they were born, after they were born, the mother died, and then still they were orphans, and then they still succeeded, made big achievements. So success is possible even without these things also. Tell yourself very clearly, yes, I can succeed irrespective of this long list of things, whether I have them or not have them. This is inconsequential. If I have them, it's good. If I have money, if I have good parents and all that, it's good. Fine, excellent. If they do not have also, it is still possible. Success is still possible because there are many examples of people around me. I'm not talking about great people again, Michael Phelps. I'm talking about my colleagues. In my own class, there is another student who is an orphan who is scoring more marks than I am. There is somebody else who has only one shirt, I have 5 shirts, and he's achieving more in the class. So my own colleagues are my examples. I'm not comparing you. I'm not asking you to become Sachin Tendulkar. Right. Okay, then what is it that I need? Okay, these things are not consequential, if they're not important. What is it that I need? I need a different set of things to succeed. What are that different set of things? I need good goals, good action plans. I must be capable of smart work. I must maintain some good habits like punctuality. I must have some core basic values within me. I must learn. I must have some good creative ideas. I must inculcate some good habits. I must be capable of some intelligent thoughts. I think you can see that picture here. So these are the things: learning, values, habits, ideas, thoughts. So if you have these, all these things are inconsequential, not necessary. If you do not have these, even if you have all these, success is unsure. Right? So having the things on the right side is good, but not compulsory. Having the things on the left side is compulsory to succeed. No man has ever succeeded without these things. Leave out that 0.5% lucky ones. I already told you. Somebody buys that lottery ticket, not that kind. So accepting that 0.01% or whatever, the rest of you, people like us, you and me, we have to have these things on the left side to succeed in life. And if they go with a good, well-drafted action plan, I think the whole world is ours. I'll show you 2 examples. Maybe we'll have a discussion after this. Maybe I'll invite your some answers on this. So let me show this first one. Okay, I'll stop it there. We don't have too much time for that, but it's wonderful. I want some 3 or 4 students, those who have not spoken so far, to come forward and then unmute themselves one after another and tell me, what do you learn from these 2 examples?
Sir, this is Uzma Tajwar. Sir,
Yeah,
it
please.
is dedication towards the passion, none worthless what they have and what they don't have. It's just the
Great.
passion to reach their goal, whatever
Wonderful,
the
Uzma.
circumstances.
Uzma, thank you very much. Passion makes all the difference. That's what you want to say. So passion is more important than the facilities that you have. Thank you, Uzma. Next one.
Thank you, sir.
Anyone else?
Sir, this is Devaki Reddy.
Okay.
So far, what I have learned is when we have too many things in mind, could not pursue our goal in a proper path. So this webinar has helped me to focus on a particular thing, to reach the goal through the proper specific paths. So it is
Thank you,
very
Devaki
easy
garu.
to reach the goal instead of focusing this side and that side. And what we need it specifically, like money, time, and the resources, what we should have in order to reach our goal in a very proper way.
Okay, thank you, Devaki Garu. That's about the goals that I discussed and the action plans that I discussed. But my latest question is about these two little boys whom you have seen on screen playing some musical instruments. What do you learn from these two examples? One more student, please.
Excuse me, sir. I'm Venupriya. Hello.
Yeah, yes,
Sir,
Venupriya.
that Uzma said about that one passion, whatever feasibility source is there, that source to be, we can reach our goal, sir. Whatever the source, resources are there, we can use more innovatively, creativity, we can do, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You put it, hit the nail on its head. So it's not the availability of the resources, but it is the utilization of the available resources that can make it successful. Thank you very much, Devi Priya. One more, please. One last one. A student.
Hello, sir. This is Diksha. I think from that I can understand is necessity is mother of inventions. So that's clearly shown there, where if you have a passion, you have always follow an alternative for it and just reach your goal. It's not about complaining about what you don't have, but just take what you have and use it properly to reach your goal.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. So I like your second part of your answer. So it's not complaining about things that you do not have. I know. I mean, especially students and young people always have this habit of complaining. I don't have this. Had I had this, I would have achieved this. Had my father supported me at that time, I would have done this. Had I taken biology instead of this, I would have been this. Had I had this facility at home, right, I would have succeeded. So these are, of course, complaints. They may be right. I'm not denying, and I'm not telling you that you are telling lies. They may be right, but despite, yes, please.
Sir, actually, as just the other ma'am told, it is right. And apart from that, whatever impediments come, you need to strongly believe in yourself. The time you start believing, what happens, that builds your self-determination to achieve those goals.
Wonderful. Thank you, Alia. Thank you very much. Right.
So I personally do that.
Great. Adi, congratulations. I am sure you'll be very successful in life. So it's your passion that takes you where you want to go. It's the exploitation of the environment that's already available, the opportunities that are already there, the doors that are already open before you. If you just exploit them, that's enough. Success is not somewhere else. Success is here in the heart. You saw that example of the cat and the lion. Maybe it did not sink well into your mind. If you perhaps maybe after you go home, if you think on that. So maybe you're asking, sir, how can a cat think it's a lion, sir? There's no lion there. It thinks it's a lion. What do you think of yourself? What do you think you are? If you ever think of yourself as what you are, see, both these boys are successful. Both these boys have done outstandingly well. Both these are maybe some kind of geniuses, child prodigies, doing extraordinarily well. But the one has been given all the facilities. Right? Maybe his parents are well-to-do, maybe he can afford to buy that kind of instruments, and he also perhaps has got a good tutor, and he has gone to a good school and all that. So he has succeeded. Wonderful. We have appreciation for him. Great. But I belong to the second category. I have come from a different background. My parents did not have this. My surroundings did not have this. Should I just stop there? Because I do not have those facilities, those resources, those human resources, those physical resources, etc. No. If my heart is burning, if there is passion in my heart, right? If I'm ignited, right? If there is that dynamism in me, right? If my desire is strong, if I have a goal and I have an action plan, the right side, the boy on the right side has a goal. He set the goal for himself. Maybe his father did not even allow him to use those small tin cans. Maybe his mother beat him up. I'm just guessing. Maybe his mother told him, why are you spoiling these things? Okay. But despite that, this boy, because of his goal, because he has that passion, because he looked into a mirror and thought he was a lion, a drummer, not an ordinary young little boy born on the wayside, because he believed that, what did he do? He utilized every single resource that was available to him instead of complaining. Dad, I don't have that jazz, right? Drums and all that. So he improvised on what he has and then succeeded. So this is what is possible to every one of us, remember. So don't complain. I don't have books. I don't have this. I don't have that. I did not go to a good college. If I had got a seat in somewhere, some other big college, I would have done this. That's all maybe true. But despite that, you can succeed. Right? Okay. Let me finally move on to come to my last slide. Right? So what counts is what's inside you. I'll close with a very interesting story. And somebody was selling balloons and a little boy went there. Uncle, you are selling balloons of all colors. There is a blue balloon, there is a white balloon, there is a pink balloon, there is a red balloon, there is a blue balloon, there is a green balloon. All colors are there. Why are not any black balloons there? Suppose I get a black balloon, will it also fly like that? Along with other colors, will black also fly? The child asked. And that uncle who was selling balloons said, Beta, it's not the color. It's not your external appearance. You fly because of what's inside you, not what's outside you. So whether you're black or red or blue or green, whether you are born in a rich family or a poor family, whether you've gone to Andhra Mahila Sabha or Usmania University Arts College, or maybe some other place, whether you are in America or India, that's not important. What kind of passion is burning in your heart, what ignites you, how firm you are in your heart and mind, and how decided, determined you are to achieve your goals. That decides where you will be tomorrow, whether you will fly or not. Thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity. Maybe if you have any questions, perhaps maybe 2 or 3 of you perhaps can ask questions, or maybe as many as time allows. I think your principal will decide. I think she asked me to close at 12:30. It's 12:23 now. We have another 6 or 7 minutes. Perhaps maybe we can take some 3 or 4 questions.
Yes, sir. There are already 2 questions. One is posted by Alia Sultana. She's asking, do goals need to be professional only? Do goals need to be professional only?
No. I showed you one slide already. Goals relate to your family, goals relate to your career, goals relate even to your spirituality, right? Goals relate to your finances, etc. All kinds of goals.
Right, sir. There is another question from Mr. Rakesh. Aren't all goals which are actionable not realistic? What is the difference?
Actionable and realistic are often confused. They are very often confused. Actionable is impossible for anybody. Unrealistic or impossible to you. I gave you an example. That's why, to clarify that, if you want to marry an angel, that's unactionable, because marrying an angel is not possible to any man, any woman. Right? So that's not humanly possible. That's an unactionable goal. But if you want to marry a film actor, perhaps it's not possible. I mean, technically it's possible, but it's not realistic. Okay, suppose you want to marry a 200-year-old woman, that's unactionable. You don't find a 200-year-old woman at all anywhere, right? And if you want to marry your neighbor, maybe it's possible, but I don't know what are the constraints you have.
There's one question from Shushila. How can we differentiate between dreams and goals?
In case you are looking at only the words, the English words, they are often used very synonymously. So maybe the dictionary gives you some meaning and then professionals give some meaning. They are often used synonymously. But I think it was Abdul Kalam who said beautifully, he said, a dream is not something that you see when you are asleep. A dream is something that wakes you up. I think that was a beautiful way of looking at it. So maybe you can substitute the word dream with a goal there. So if you just see something in your mind, right, that is just a dream, an empty dream many times. But if you have something in your heart, that, I mean, that troubles you, that does not allow you to rest, that keeps you constantly on the move. You cannot have rest until you have that. It's like falling in love. I think young people, all students know this. When you fall in love, how obsessed you are in your mind and heart. Now, you can't think of anything else except that girl or that boy that you are in love with. Your goal must be like that. Your goal must be like your boyfriend or girlfriend. Then it becomes a real good goal. Okay, that's the difference.
Are there any more questions? Hello? Participants can put it in the chat.
Hello, sir. As
Yes.
just now you mentioned about APJ, sir. So, sir, he is my, what can I say? I really admire him as we shared the same birth date, 15th October. So, from my childhood, I want to be one who can be recognized on Google. I mean, I want to be a successful in a positive way that people will search me for my ideas on Google like we search for APJ, sir.
Good. Wish you all the best. I'm
Thank
sure
you
you
so
will be
much, sir.
one thing.
Thank you, sir.
Shailaja, you can just wind up the session.
Yes,
Questions.
Yes, ma'am. I request our director, ma'am, Professor K. Vijayalakshmi, ma'am, to give her remarks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your fantastic interactive lecture happened today. And this exercise you started with the session, that simple activity, it's definitely be an eye-opener for many of the students, I believe. And what difference it makes if there is no good goal in our mind before doing anything. And with proper goal, half of the work will be automatically taken care. That is what I feel. And you made everyone differentiate between good goals and vague goals, clear goals and vague goals. And also, you stressed on like what I am, what I think I am. It's very catchy. That way of thinking decides what we can be. True, sir. That continuous self-motivation will take us to travel in right direction and realizing the goal. And the way you define the meaning of success is very interesting, very memorable also. Living up to your potential, very catchy. There is clarity in this, a lot of meaning also in this. Everybody remembers that, living up to your potential. Also, clear action plan, what you have suggested, if religiously followed by everyone, I assure there would be immense change in the way how we do the things. Overcoming the barriers, what actually have shown through the two boys wherein they are playing the drums, which are all the barriers are self-made only, and definitely that helps be successful if we understand that those barriers are created by ourselves only. Thank you, sir, for your simple and elaborative warm-up session for all the participants, and how to carry on our lives with clear-cut goals and action plans. And we expect many more sessions like this in future also. Thank you, sir, once again.
Thank you.
And from AMSOI, we are all we allowed to you.
I thank the speaker. His expertise can be seen the way he has used the specific words and smartly has made the students realize the goals what they have and also understand how to recognize the goals for the action plans. I hope all the participants will carry a lot of knowledge and try to implement their goals into action. And I also thank our secretary, our chairman, our director, and all the participants who have, I think, who are going to carry a lot of knowledge today and will implement their, will first plan their goals and implement it. We'll be posting in the chat box the feedback form. Please fill it because there are more participants. They'll be receiving, some of them will be receiving their certificates day after tomorrow or tomorrow. So have patience. If you are not receiving it by Friday, you can just contact me on my mail ID. Thank you all. Once again, I thank the speaker and the all the participants. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you once again. Thank you. We'll disperse. Thank you, sir.
பண்ணலாம் மாமா கேட்டாரு காசு கொடுத்துட்டானா அப்படின்னு சொல்லி இல்லப்பான்னு சொன்னேன் ஏன் என்னவா அப்படின்னு கேட்டாரு நான் கேட்டேன் ரெடி பண்ணி தரேன்னு சொல்லிக்கிறான் அப்படின்னு அதனால 2 நாளா பண்ணேன் பண்ணவே இல்லை சாப்பிட்டியா காலையில